What's up, guys? So today's video is going to be over making videos exactly like this. Chris and John right here, they are the kings and queens of it over there out in Dallas, okay? So they know what they're doing. Um, Everyone wants to be like Chris and John when it comes to this. They just make food look great and they know how to do it. Lighting's phenomenal, the angles are great. So we're going to get into a little basic tutorial of how you can start making your food look like this. Again, it's not super challenging, right? Their food just aesthetically looks phenomenal as is. So if you've got good looking plates, it's easier to make videos like this, okay? So let's get into it. Open up CapCut. Great project. We know that from the last video. Now up here, I'm going to go up here, press pizza roll magic. If you're wondering why I'm doing that, there are some files attached to this video called pizza roll magic, okay? So we're going to take a very, very basic video of pizza rolls and turn it into something elegant, something cool, something that's fun, okay? So that zip file is attached to this video. Go ahead and download those now before proceeding, and we can work on this together. And you make your own video, make it how you want. Just use this as a gateway to get there, okay? So now that you've downloaded that, I'm going to go to import. Click on my Pizza Roll Magic file. I'm going to import all 5 scenes. Awesome. Drop it down. Sweet. So I got scene 1. Shaky camera. That's cool. No worries. Scene 2. Perfect. Scene 3. Cheese on the inside. Scene 4. Just a little over exaggeration squeeze. Perfect. And then I'm going to actually zoom mine out a little bit because I don't need that. And then scene 5. Cool. All right, so you're probably thinking, how the hell are we going to make a good looking video out of this? And that's the fun part of the creative side of this, is you can make something out of anything. I promise you guys. Once you guys get the hang of this and you get the tools down and you learn how to use those, I'm telling you, you'll be making videos left, right, up, down. Okay, awesome. So there's not a lot going on with the sound here, and that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to select all of them. All right, just drag over right here. Then I'm going to right click. And up here is another great, I didn't realize it was a pro feature. It's a pro feature, so you can extract the audio and it'll pull it off for you. And you can delete it. Now we don't have sound. Guys, I'm telling you, the pro it's where it's at, okay? But no worries, if not, we can go here, select all, and I'm just going to turn the volume all the way down. Cool, same thing. So now we don't have any audio. Cool. Don't want any audio on it. Okay. So now that we've got everything imported, just because this is labeled scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't mean it has to stay that way. I just labeled those because that's the way I wanted them to be. Okay. So ideally, when it comes to these videos, we have people's attention initially for the first 3. If we don't hook it within the first 3 seconds, we're done. They've already scrolled on to something else. So that first part has to be ideal. It has to be something that's like, oh shit, I want to watch that, right? And then we have another 3 to 4 seconds. So one of the best TV shows that's great about this, Bar Rescue. If you watch an episode of Bar Rescue, within every 3 to 5 seconds, it is cutting to something. And whether it's something random in the bar, someone's face, John Taffer, a drink, it's always keeping you overstimulated by how it is cutting. So we kind of want to keep that in mind. How do we keep people engaged? Because they want that instant gratification. Okay, your plate's beautiful. You have good looking food. Now we need to do our part as content creators to make sure we are advertising that right. Okay, so when we look at this basic plate of pizza rolls, I do this first pan, slow. I'm scrolling. I've already scrolled, right? I might be like, that's a cool little skull glass, but I'm scrolling. So we need something to grab their attention. So dip, I don't know. Okay, wait, that might be cool. I'm curious. I don't know what that is. At first glance, I'm like, is that a pizza roll? Is that, it might hook my attention a little bit, okay? So I need just like a second of that. I don't want this whole thing. So we're gonna use the split tool, okay? So probably about that much. Perfect. So I'm gonna grab the split tool here, and then I'm just gonna drag and drop this guy to the intro, the beginning. Nice. Cool, cool. Awesome. I like that a lot. So a lot of these videos, you can see we have some good moments, but I don't need all this extra to get there. So again, let's use a split tool and trim this down. Because right now we've got over a 30-second video and people aren't going to watch all of it. So ideally, if we can get this to an 8 to 10-second video, it'd be a lot better. Perfect. So I want that when it starts, when it becomes a gusher. So again, I'm going to use that split tool. Click here. Perfect. And I actually might use that for the intro now. I like that a lot better. So I just need a few seconds of that. This end part, don't give a shit. Don't need it. Awesome. What is that? Awesome. So then we can put that somewhere for now. Now I do the pan of the full plate because I want to show what it is. But again, I don't need a full. So I'll probably start it right here. Now this is a great tool because it deletes to the left, or you can delete all the way to the right. I'm just going to delete the left because I don't need it. Show what it is. Now I'm shaky. Now this is where that pro comes in handy because I can click this little clip right here and I can stabilize it. And now my shaky hand, which I should have been using the gimbal, but I didn't. Look at that. Beautiful, right? Awesome. That's a perfect pan that I want. I don't need any more. Click the rest off. And then cool dip. Awesome. I probably don't need that. All right, so my first two scenes are awesome. I like that squeeze, over dramatic, pan. This is what it is. Then the dunk. So I don't need that initial. Probably take all of that out, really. Ugh, ranch looks nasty. Cool. So we're showing the dunk there, and then I don't need the fidgeting around. So I'm going to put a split. So I want that first part actually in, and then right there I want to show the money shot. Perfect. Now I'm going to get rid of the rest of that. Now we're showing the inside. Cool. I don't need another dip. That was kind of all unnecessary. I think we could probably cut this. Now we have that initial. Again, we could probably cut a second off that too. Perfect. Again, within that first 3 seconds, if we don't grab them and transition to something else, we have lost them. So we want to make sure we're keeping people overstimulated. Cool. Quick pan. We can even cut a little bit off there. Perfect. 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 Cut a little bit off there. So I don't need a whole lot. Now, if your food is just dripping with sauce, let that drip and let it play. But honestly, the ranch looks kind of, doesn't look that good. So I'm going to just cut real fast. But this is just a tutorial video on how to do it, right? You guys get the right idea. Cool. Flashy. 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 Perfect. 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 And we were right at 10 seconds where we needed to be. I love it. Awesome. So now, since you guys might not be on the Pro feature and can't extract the audio, we'll go over here, bring the audio all the way down, okay? And I personally would just do create compound clip because that's going to take all of our cut up clips and put them into one. And I think that's going to be a lot easier for us in the end. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like before and after with the adjust, just so I can try to upsell you on that pro feature. I promise it's worth the 20 a month. Before, after. Oh, my desk looks terrible. So it's just a lot more 4K, a lot more color saturated, right? And if we do the color correction, it comes in a little bit more. All right, and we can bring that down a little bit so it's not too unflattering. Usually around 30 works. Okay, so now all right. So one thing I don't like about it is how red my fingers look, okay? And reds pop big time. So what I would go to is this, the hue, saturation, and lightness, HSL. And I'm going to go to the reds, and I'm just going to kind of desaturate that a little bit. Okay, I like that. So now my fingers don't look like tomatoes. Perfect. And that can work with any color. So if the plate was too blue, we can bring that down. We can make it bolder. However we want our colors to pop. This is a good way to make your leafy greens look crazy green and look delicious. Okay, grab that green, saturate them, play with the hue on it. But that is a great basic adjustment right there for colors. And again, the more you play with it, the better you get. Cool. Awesome. So now, halfway there, I want to go pick a song, okay? Now, this is your chance to make it yours, and that is the great thing about content creation. However, when it comes to audio, there are a bunch of audio tracks that trend. It is important to do at least a couple a week, okay? 1, 2. But we also want to stick to your sound and what makes you unique, right? For mine, I use metal, pop, punk, rock, all the stuff that probably would never work because it is my feel and I want that to be mine. So when people hear it, they know what By the Sky Media is. It's my brand. It's what I want to do. And that's what makes you unique. So whether you have a country-themed restaurant or, a rock and roll bar or you want more rap heavy, make it yours, okay? So go find a song that you can put in here. I'm going to just do hits, see what's... I'm going to skip through this. You guys go find a song, and I'll find you once I find one. Okay, welcome back. Now, if you haven't found a song, Good Vibes, Clear Tone is a great one. I think it's going to match really well. Again, make the changes you want to, okay? So right now, we can tell this goes way off, and it will play. If we export this now, it will play the whole song. So what I want to do is come here and make sure all 4 of these are clicked so it syncs to the end. And I'm going to delete to the right with this clip selected. Okay, now this won't work if nothing's selected. If I go here and I press delete to the right, nothing's going to work. So make sure you click the clip and get rid of it. Okay, and now okay, ranch don't look so bad now, right? Perfect. That is an ideal video. Okay, now instead of pizza rolls, obviously we would have your beautiful food in there. So what we'll do is we'll go in and add some text, okay? Now your text is going to pop up wherever your cursor is. So mine went down here because it was here. So drag it here. I'm just going to drag it back. Okay. Again, your text is your baby. Now here's an important thing to remember with text, and there's a really cool feature that they've just added here recently that is life-changing. Where we put our text is crucial because we don't want to put it too high because then we won't see it in the video. We'll be on that search bar in the videos and the reels. We don't want to put it too low because then we're going to be in the caption. So it's important that we find that gray area, right? If we go right here, social media preview, and I click TikTok, it is going to preview what TikTok looks like, and I cannot tell you how many headaches this will save you. Okay, so we want to stay under here. We don't want to go underneath there. This is our fine line. Again, Instagram. So we know we're safe here on Instagram, TikTok. So this is where I'm going to leave the text. Okay. This is your chance to add a clever caption. Okay. Chili's has amazing captions. Chris and John, they do a great job. Dave's Hot Chicken's another good one. There's so many restaurants that do it well. Go pick off them. But don't copy them, right? Kind of make it your own. There's so many great examples out there. ChatGPT will help you as well. Get creative with it. But again, keywords are going to help drive people to your video, okay? So I'm going to say, your new obsession. Sorry, obsession. Awesome. Something clever, something quick. Now, I don't really like the system font, so I'm going to change it. I've got a shitload of fonts in here, okay? I'm going to do True Fate, okay? If you guys don't have it, you click something similar or something completely different. It's your video, it's your pizza roll video, however you want to do it. Okay, font size, obviously font size, and I know you guys saw me clicking the box. This is a lot like if you were to use Word, Canva, Photoshop, any of those tools. The text tool is pretty similar, right? All text tools kind of universal. Over here, this is our bold. So if we want to bold it, some fonts don't have the option to. This one does. I'm leaving it off. Underline, and then italicize. And then if we want to make all the letters bold, I do kind of like that. That's pretty cool. If we want to make them all small, if we want to make, I think I might do that. Okay. Awesome. Now your character and line, this means how close your characters are and your line is. So if I were to spread them out, awesome, that looks pretty good. If I were to spread this out, awesome, that looks pretty good. Alignment, if I went to the left or right center, I want it center. And these are some presets that you guys can use. I don't mess with them too much, but they're there to play with. Again, if we were to just transform it, make it bigger, smaller, all that's here. Now the stroke is a big one. If I wanted to put a black stroke on it, I could. Just to kind of finite that edge, because right here you can see it kind of gets hard to read. If I wanted to put a background like you see in most TikTok videos, right there is how you do it. Okay, you can make it around the closer to the edge or further out, your call. And again, the opacity, if you don't want it super bright, but you want a little bit there, if you want to round it more, all that is there for you to play with. If you want your letters to glow, all here for you to play with. So play with it, and then come back to me once you found it, and I'll show you the one that I use the most. Let's see if you've picked it out already. Okay, welcome back. So now the shadow is going to be a huge one that I use a lot. If I'm not using the black solid background, I'm probably always going to use a drop shadow. And the reason being is because it really helps finite some of those areas where we kind of were guessing before, okay? You can make the opacity too dark, but sometimes that hurts. Too light, not enough. Usually about 80% is a great starting range, and you can adjust from there, okay? Blurriness, 15%. The standard start point is really good. But again, depending on if your video's bright or darker, you can adjust, okay? Probably go up to 20%, I like that. Distance, how far off you want it to be. Kind of a good little drop there. If you want it right on, if you want it way off. Again, I kind of liked where I was at it. Was it 20? Do 15. Awesome. And then the angle, if you want it on the left side, the right side. That's cool. Like that. Do negative 115. Awesome. Cool. And then curves, if you want to curve. I don't want this to curve. I like that right there. Perfect. All right, text is done. Now, animation for the text is if you want it to type out like that, you want it to stargaze, all kinds of different ones you can play with. I'm just going to do the type because I think that's cool. Tracking is something we will play with later. You don't have to worry about it right now. It is an advanced tool. Let's just get your videos out there to start, right? Now, with that intro for the... I want to add some typing sounds to it because I just think that's going to help keep our audience engaged. So I'm going to say keyboard. Typing. Perfect. Sold. I don't even need to hear the rest of it. Okay, so I'm only going to make this go as long as it types for, because it doesn't make sense to have it keep going after, right? So, and even that doesn't match too well. I wish it was a little bit quicker, or this was drawn out. Good news is we can make that happen. So if I click the sound, and I go to speed, I can double time it, okay? So now, I'm obsessed. I think it's great. We took those 5 clips that looked like absolutely dog shit, and we have made pizza rolls look elegant. And that was the goal of this video. Perfect. Awesome. So now let's take our cursor and bring it back to the beginning. I'm going to right click and I'm going to render. Render every one of your videos. Is going to help with the export. Is going to make sure it is smooth and beautiful. Okay. Whole timeline. You'll see in the middle media or the preview and blah, blah, blah. And the preview pane, it is rendering. That is what we want. Okay, so one thing I wanted to mention real quick before we export this is a clean cover photo and the benefits of it. So Gavin, he is great about this. So Eats with Gavin videos, that's my dog, sorry. He's great about the clean text, and a lot of people are doing this, a lot of influencers are doing this, and their videos are hitting because of it. The algorithm absolutely loves a clean cover photo, and it will boost your videos because of it. So right now, we're going to go do that. Okay, so for this instance, I'm going to turn off the text just so I have a blank photo. Because right now, I will see the text either way. It's that little type cursor or not. I don't want that in that cover photo. So for now, turn it off. And this is just on your layers. You can turn things on or off. And you can also lock layers. I never went over that before, but I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Turn it off. Cover. Edit. Okay. So now, just ignore that. I'm going to add a text. Now, when you do this, think about what text you want. Okay, so this is going to represent your business, is going to represent your brand. So make sure it's kind of on par with what you're already doing. Write down whatever text it is. Please, please. Okay, so I'm going to say old standard because it kind of matches what we had going on anyway. Do all white. Again, just like before. We want a shadow. I want a black shadow. I'm going to do this one pretty quick. Sorry, guys. But it's just like before. Just got to get used to the interface. Perfect. Ugh. Pizza roll. Awesome. Cool. So that's a cool little cover photo. You guys do whatever you want. Make it yours. Again, ideally when you're doing this for your real videos, think about what colors you want to use, what text you want to use, and make sure you're using the same one for every video, okay? Takes 2 seconds to make a cover photo. I promise the algorithm will love you for it. Awesome. So now I'm going to go turn that back on. We're rendered, cover photo's done, everything's ready to go. Let's go up here to File, we'll go Export, Pizza Roll Magic. Now you will select whatever export you're going to, so I'm actually not going to put that one there. Save by Sky, Video Tutorials, New Folder, Files, perfect. However you create your folders, you guys should know how to do that, right? I think you know how to do that. If not, give me a private call. I'll help you through it. All right, so some important things to note when we export. Resolution. 1080p is a good one. Bitrate recommended. Can't go wrong there. Your codec, you want it at an H.264, okay? Without going deep into detail as to why, just trust me, that's the one you want. Format and MP4. The other one's going to be MOV, movie. MP4 is going to be a little more compressed. Okay, optical flow. I leave it on. Again, it's a pro feature, so if you don't have pro, you won't be able to use it. Just makes it move a little bit smoother. And your color space is the big one. If you are still in an HLG or a different one, we can change that by coming into details, modify over here, SDR. We want the 709 SDR, okay? We don't want any of these other ones. Reason being, this will perform well on TikTok as well as Instagram and Facebook. The other ones will do well on Instagram and Facebook, but the color space will not be right for TikTok, and it'll look very dull, okay? So, and you'll probably notice when you switch, the video will go down a little bit. Just adjust in your pane like we did before until it looks good to you. Awesome. We are ready to export. So now, sick cover photo. Now this is just if you want that cover photo to play at the beginning for a quick half second before the video starts. Sometimes it's beneficial, most of the times it's not. So again, your preference, how you want that. Export. Perfect. So now if we open our folder, we will find it. And if you are on a Mac, then you can absolutely do the easiest thing in the world, which is half the reason I love Mac. We go to share, airdrop, and we airdrop it to our phones. And trust me, that's the best thing ever. I'm going to send it to my daughter. Awesome. This is a great start, guys. This is your first video of editing on CapCut. It's only going to get better, right? So we'll do some more. I'll upload videos on Canva, how to use Canva, how to make graphics on that look great, how to do more videos on CapCut, how to run ads in Meta, all these great things using social media tools like Social Pilot. We will go into all this. We'll break this all down. I promise within a month, you will be running your social media like nobody's business.